Where do I even begin? K-pop companies are notorious for being the way that they are. Today we'll be talking about 3 companies that have been pissing me off a lot lately. But when am I not pissed off in these videos though? Anytime the pink light is on, someone's gonna get their ass whooped in this video. I'm kidding. Someone is going to get fried. But before we get into today's video, I'm gonna make videos a little bit about everything. From K-pop to commentary to reactions to pop culture to drama to a ton of different things. So if that's something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's get right into it. First off, we've got 100, which is the BOYZ current company. We got him behind me. We got the boys behind me. Hi, we're the boys. And you're 11 of us. Second shipping. Exactly. First off, we've got 100. Now, when the boys joined 100 back in January of this year, they moved from the previous company, which we will be talking about later, IST Entertainment. They very subtly mentioned how they were unhappy under that company, with Kevin saying that they didn't have much or any creative control, might I add. And when they did, they'd never get credited for it, amongst other things, from like them being overworked and not getting paid for.
멤버들을 계속 뛰었어. 팬분들이 모르는 팬분들 모두 아픔이 많잖아. 맞아, 아픔이 많아. 그 아픔 우리가 언제 한번 다 풀자고. 진짜 나중에 뭐 장난을 하면서 대신에 회사 몰래 라이브 영화인데요? 아니지. 전에 생각을 하면 없잖아. 말해도 돼.
When the fans were informed that the boys would be leaving ISD, we jumped for joy because the boys' freedom. I honestly had high hopes for the new company that they'd signed to, and there's video evidence of that on the channel. It's not every day that we see a group with all the members going from one company to another all together, intact. All 11 members of the boys had left ISD together and then all together signed under 100, which we never see that happen, you know? Most of the time, like, a member will go out, or like some of them will renew their contract, some of them will go somewhere else. This person's in a different company, this person decided to pick up acting and nothing else, you know, like that's usually what will happen. But every single member going from one place to another, that's very rare. I mean, I'm sure it has happened, like for example GOT7 leaving and deciding to do their own thing, like that's altogether. We had high hopes for 100, only to be disappointed. Let's list all the things the boys have gone through within the past year. These aren't in order, by the way, because I'd rather not go back in time, y'all. These are only some of the things that they have gone through since they joined 100 earlier this year. So number 1, Seunghwan enlisted, which like isn't like crazy, like, because they're all gonna go eventually, you know. But the problem with that is that their comeback was the day of his enlistment. 100 couldn't have, like, you know, planned this out a little, like maybe a few weeks before his enlistment. That would have been like whatever. I mean, at least they were all present and they, you know, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. Sonu got canceled for dropping AirPods and people saying that he had an attitude issue because he dropped his AirPods and yelled, "My AirPods!" And people were like, he made his guard pick it up. What a fucking bitch. And I'm like, that first of all, from people who were there, they were like, oh, it was really dark and it was nighttime and he had dropped his AirPods. As somebody who also uses AirPods, like, dropping them and losing them is my, like, it's a fear. It's a real fear of mine. Because, hello, what the fuck? And it was dark and it was late. And, you know, if I drop something, I'm like, oh my god, I just dropped my whatever. And, like, but it is not, he did not say, hey, get your ass over here and pick that up for me now, peasant, and then like spit in his face. You would think that's what he did. You would think that's what Sonu did. That is not what Sonu did at all. And he just kind of got, you know. So people were mad at Kevin for being happy about leaving IST. I remember he made like a story being like, "We're free" or whatever. I think he posted like Beyonce's "Freedom" or whatever. That shit is so funny and iconic of him, and we love that. But people were mad at that, being like, "Wow, that's so like disrespectful. That was your job." Yeah, the job that he was very unhappy under. Him and his members, they had gone through so much under that company too. If you want me to list those two, I'll have another video about that, because IST is not a good company, and we will be talking about that later in this video too, because there's many like current instances of them being shitty towards the artists that they still have. The artist that they still have. They have one group. They have one active group. But yeah, he and his members had a horrible time under that company. They have every right to be happy about that. To be happy about leaving and getting a fresh start and finally being able to do whatever the fuck they want. Like, I don't know if you guys like saw recently, but he had held up a flag, or like there was like a banner, or it was, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it had to do with supporting Palestine. And that was like fully on stage for everyone to see. At his old company, I remember there was this one time where he was like going to be handed a pride flag, and he was like, hands are tied, like I can't do nothing about that. I can't show support right now, because that company was like about what he can and can't say or do. And so he finally got the opportunity to be more open about his beliefs and stuff. And I mean, like, it should go without saying. It should go without saying to know that the boys aren't problematic. like, I mean, just look at them. Like, then people were mad at Juyeon for being inactive, which led to him apologizing and saying that the reason was because he lost confidence in himself. Now, I have a video talking about that situation if you guys want to go and be informed on that. I mean, I've talked about most of these in my videos. I'll list those in the description if you guys are ever curious about that, or ever want to know the whole story. I will, like, that's where you can find those. Um, but it's crazy because there's a lot of things where the boys will get like called out for, and there's so many things that they would apologize for that they don't have to be apologizing for. Like, for example, the whole Sonu thing. We all told him, he even said, he was like, I'm not gonna apologize for something like when I didn't do anything wrong. But then people like were really like on his ass for that. And so he ended up apologizing anyway, but he was like, I'm still saying that I did not do anything wrong, and I did thank the guard that picked up my all this over AirPods. All this over AirPods. I can't even. People accuse Chenjae and Seunghwan of doing the most insane things that have been debunked. I'm pretty sure Hype called Channy a slur. I'm not sure if that was this year or last year. Either way, Hangyeon wrongfully removed from his group. Um, wrongfully removed of the group without his knowledge. Like he said, I wasn't aware that I was getting kicked out. Like, they did not tell me that I was going to be removed. I said I was going to take a break. They said he's not in the group anymore. And he was like, I didn't know this. I also have a whole video about Hangyeon's situation and the updates thus far. So if you want to go watch that's also, I'll put that in the description also. They had to come back just a week later and then had a tour that started a few days after that comeback. They only got to promote it on like one music show, by the way, because also 100 like is a subsidiary for a different company that is beefing with SM, and SM had stopped them from being able to perform at certain like music shows. So like have SM is always at the scene of the crime, I'll tell you that now. And we're gonna talk about that too later. Um but yeah, so like that too, you know. Um 6 out of 15 tour stops were canceled because of 100 breaching their contracts. I guess 100 was told you can only like work with this company for the fan meeting or whatever. But they didn't listen, and so then those shows got canceled. And this was the members were all like they're all visibly upset about this, and they to this day will literally be in the bubble messages or from they'll be messaging on from being like, I'm sorry that this happened, like I didn't like we don't like that happened either, as if it was their fault that it happened. It's not them, it's their damn company and how horrible they are at what they're doing. um and I will forever like I'll fight for them. Don't even play. Don't even play. All I gotta say is what the fuck? Lately, members of the boys have been begging their fans to stay and never leave, and are constantly apologizing for their company being messy as fuck. Fans tried mentioning the possibility of a boycott, but given the boys' situation, it would only harm the group and lead to a possible disband, given how sudden Hangyun's removal was. They could also suddenly be disbanded. Like this company has shown that they're like it's their way or nobody else's, you know. Um Unlike Rise's situation, which resulted in fans boycotting, which I mean, tech was it a positive outcome? You know, like I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. But like I think yes and no, because yes, Seunghwan is happier now, but no, because no justice was actually served. Those bitches still got away with it. You see where the problem is, right? Anyway, besides the point, SM Entertainment never disbands their groups. Like literally, they never formally disband their groups. This um unlike Rise's situation, which we'll be talking about them as well. 100 isn't a big ass company like SM who has never actually disbanded any group. So in my opinion, a boycott wouldn't benefit anybody here. And could actually be very harmful to the members and to the group as a whole, because I mean this company is already. Hey, so I had to pop in because there were a few updates from after I filmed the clip you saw before this. So there are two different times you're going to see me in a different, like looking slightly different. Just know that it's because of that, because there were a few updates that I needed to get into that video. And I'm pissed, bro. And I'm pissed. And I need to, like, the reason why I do these videos, by the way, like the ones where I go off on certain, like, people or like companies and stuff, where I channel my inner Tana Mojo storytime videos.
You're a cunt! You're a cunt! You're a cunt! You're a cunt! Fight me, bitch! Hit me, bitch! You won't say shit, bitch! Let's go, bitch! You're
Like, it's because I need to let it out somehow. I don't exactly have people that I can just scream about these stuff with. So I'm doing it on camera. Because if I do it in therapy, they're gonna lock me up in solitary confinement. They're gonna put me in a straitjacket and everything. They already are gonna do that to me after figuring out that I'm geothinker.
Mr.
I don't know what the fuck I just said. I don't know what the fuck I just said. I don't know what I'm talking about. That wasn't me. That was my evil twin, y'all. But no, but seriously, I do need to go off. Okay? That's why the pink light is on. And I feel like I was a little too nice. Not this time, pal. Okay, so now we need to talk about the fact that Kevin was put on hiatus. This all happened, I kid you not, like maybe a day or two after I finished recording that video. So I was like, oh shit, I probably should add that to this. But then more stuff happened, not only with the boys but with some other stuff too. So we're gonna talk about that also, including EXO. Yeah, we're gonna talk about EXO too because that shit's crazy. And I'm fucking pissed. And also, you guys should not be mad at the members of the group because they had no power in any of this. I can tell you that now. Okay, I was not there physically, but I can tell you confidently that these companies, they like to control. And if any of those members were to be like, I disagree, they would have been like, shut the fuck up, bitch. You're gonna get kicked out of the group. But people are gonna wonder why I'm kicked out of the group. We're gonna make up something. like that's okay. Anyway, so Kevin was put on hiatus recently. This was like a few days ago. Um, let's also talk about Kevin being put on hiatus recently. A few days ago, we were notified by 100 that Kevin would be put on hiatus to focus on his physical and mental health, which, as he fucking should, he goes through literally so much daily, but so does like every member. Um, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because there's some discourse on whether or not the company is at fault here because you know, and dare I say, yes, maybe not all of it. Like, maybe they're not the full reason why he needs a break. Obviously, maybe it's like any other personal stuff, but you need to take into account like the stuff that they have gone through within the past year. How much that would be on just the average person. Like, that's so much pressure, so much stress, and they don't get any fucking breaks. Where's the break? Where is the break? You know? But part of, maybe not all of the reason, but it's part of the reason why he's hit a breaking point. The company, I mean. Um, he said time and time again how he was sad about not being able to perform, not being able to perform. I think he said something along the lines of, feel like someone clipped my wings, like I am not able to do what I'm supposed to do, like that's my job. I'm not allowed to do my job. Like that's fucking annoying. That's not what he said exactly. We'll go over what he said, by the way, because there is some stuff like some stuff. He said time and time again how sad he was about not being able to perform, and him and his members have gone through so much lately with no breaks and no time to process any of it. Yeah, back in June they lost a fucking member, and then literally right after a comeback, and then after that comeback, a world tour that, as we said earlier, got cut short because the company did something stupid. Oh my god, I'm mad for them. This also makes me anxious because Hangyeon was also put on hiatus for like 2 days and then removed. I'm pretty sure this is what Kevin said in regards to the tour being canceled. Or not all of it, but like most of the shows being canceled and like cut short, and the tour being cut short. I mean, you know, Kevin, if you're seeing this, Pookie, we're fighting for you. I'm fighting for you. Let's try one more time if the tweets are gonna load, okay? One more time. One more time. One more time. I love Twice. I love Twice. I know this video is not about Twice. I'm a JYP his pants. Like that's I I don't know. Okay, so the tweet finally loaded. So this was from a while ago. I think it was a little bit after the shows got canceled. Kevin went to their messaging platform, which is and said, though time has passed, I totally understand why Dobies are upset. We are also upset. People were blaming the boys for the cancellation and like were directing their hate towards them, and I'm like, y'all, it's not. If it was up to the boys, this wouldn't have happened. Like, come on now. Like, this is the company's fault because they were the ones managing this tour. Therefore, they're the ones that fucked us up. It was not the members on their own. Like, I don't think they had any say in what they were doing, where they were going, anything like that, you know? Um, anyway, so then he continues to say, "You dedicated time and used your savings to see the boys. Though I don't know what to say, just know that we also feel the same way. I want to sing, dance, and have a concert, but it's too bad that it's not that simple. Just like how Dobies treasure the boys, there are staff who care for us, so it will get better. I believe that only better days awaits us." Kevin! Kevin, I'm not doing too good now. Kevin! Kevin, save us. Why am I getting emotional? I think it's because knowing that he said all that and now he's on hiatus because he wasn't doing well. I just feel so bad for him because Kevin himself, like I feel like he has gone through a shit ton of stuff. Like although the other members did too, they had like a really big like there was a lot going on. You know what I mean? Anyway, so he also said to have performance opportunities taken from me feels like having my wings clipped off. And to have promises be broken with the people who support us absolutely sucks. But there are so many people on our team that truly care about the boys the way our fans do. We're gonna make changes happen so things don't repeat. There's only room to climb up now. I hope you can stick with us. Kevin wasn't the only one that sent messages like that. It was literally every member that were like, please stay with us, don't go anywhere. I think Eric said that. I think Chinese said, when did. I don't play about that boy. I don't play about Chenny. I don't play about anybody in the boys, obviously. Like, we're 11. I don't play about them. What? One of the tweets I was gonna read is no longer there. This tweet reads, when the boys basically admitted that they were doing mental health checks on Kevin when they were under IST and the 7 years under that funky raggedy ass company, Kevin ain't get no break. The boys just fell. I'm sorry. 100 put Kevin on hiatus, and y'all got this audacity to say such willfully ignorant confidence that this year is worse than the 7 years under IST. Do none of y'all actually look into the groups y'all get into? Now, I'm not sure exactly. I'm here to say that both companies suck ass. Okay? Both companies suck ass. Both companies, they have gone through tremendous amount of stress and just and just it's endless, you know, because the things that they go through, there's just so much they've gone through just this year alone. You can't say that. And this is like I'm pretty sure OP just means like, hey, Kevin's been having issues, like we gotta what, I'm not sure, but I'm here to say that 100 is not perfect either. Like, and that's like an understatement. Fuck them bitches, because the shit that they have all gone through within the past fucking year, they put their trust in this company, okay? Like I said earlier, going from one company to another and then getting like ran over. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, fuck you. Fuck you and your mom. That's to the company, by the way, not the person who wrote that tweet. Now let's talk about SM. It's been a minute since I cussed them out in specific. But I wanted to mention a situation involving Rise. I know I talk about them often when criticizing SM, but just know that it's because I honestly feel so bad for them to not only have their company not know what to do with them, but being stuck with fans who don't respect them and respect their decisions, their personal decisions, plus personal space. And I know it isn't all of their fans' disclaimer, but in this video, I'm mainly focusing on SM rather than fans are one person in whole. We'll mention them like briefly, I'm pretty sure, but it's not like this is mainly criticism to the company because if the company did better, they'd be in a better place too. So recently, Rise had a tour, which I fear they're so poorly promoted because I didn't even know about their tour. But also, like, tickets weren't selling and it led to concerts being canceled. Dare I say it's because of how SM treats the fans? International fans to be exact, because when everything went down with Seunghwan, fans who swore to boycott, including myself, I have video proof of me saying this, by the way.
Flashback.
At this point, we're gonna do what we're gonna do to kind of fight back, basically. We're going
we're gonna burn down their house.
is we're going to be boycotting SM and Rise.
End of flashback.
It's all on this channel. But everybody has been very serious about it. And although you can argue that happened, that what happened was the best case scenario, as in Seunghwan debuting solo, it ruined the group for so many people. And if only SM protected their artists and respected the fans, especially if they were aiming to make Rise a global group, they were supposed to they were marketed to be this popular group worldwide. But we see how SM is treating the international fans to the point where it's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Like, you need to, especially if they were aiming to make Rise a global group, they should have handled it a bit better. Even with the past situation I talked about a few videos back with Seunghwan, I can still argue that it's also due to SM's negligence that brought us here. These boys have had their privacies invaded, but it's like that for any group. It's like that for other groups under that fuck ass company too. See that one bitch that snuck into NCT Jaehyun's hotel room and then followed NCT 127 around when they came to the US on their schedules. For example, because SM threatened legal action to protect their artists, only to never go through with it, similar to Seunghwan's situation. And as for Rise as a whole, the stalking and insane behavior that they're forced to live with is still very well an issue, and I wish that if SM were to do one thing right, it would be to ensure the artist's safety. Also, where the fuck is EXO? Off the SM portion with also where the fuck is EXO, and I'm about to tell you, okay? Y'all are gonna get mad too because I'm fuming. Speaking of EXO, Baekhyun, Sumin, and Chen will not be participating in EXO's next comeback. Sigh. I thought that was just it. But hold on, because there's more. As of right now, we also have got some information about how SM stated that CBX are no longer part of EXO. What the actual fuck?
For Ruffles over the classic ones. They're just kind of boring for my taste. You know what I mean?
What the fuck? Pissing me off, Robert.
XOLs have gone through so much and they deserve a full comeback with the whole group. They've been waiting for them to come back from the military. They're all back. So what now? You know? How are you gonna kick out some of the most popular members too? Baekhyun? Sorry. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, they deserve a full comeback with all the members. So what the fuck is this? What do you mean Lay's coming back? But I haven't seen or heard of Lay in a very long time. But seeing his name pop up, I was like, haven't heard that name in a while. Anyway, so all because they didn't want to continue their solo activities under SM. I will go over the official statements from both companies because both companies, as in CBX is current company, which is also kind of the same company as the BOYZ. I guess the BOYZ is like a subsidiary to that company, so basically same thing. Fuck them. According to INB 100, CBX wanted to still participate in EXO, but not do their solo projects under SM, which is fair, but SM could still have a full EXO. It literally wouldn't harm them at all. But you know who removing these members would harm? The members, the fans that are gonna fucking leave because you just kicked out 3 very important members of the group too. No matter who you kick out, it's gonna be like a big deal because EXO EXO went from like 12 members to like 5. Like, I bet being an EXO is not for the weak. Okay, my heart is with y'all. You know what will harm them though? Wrongfully removing members against their will, similar to what 100 did with Hangyeon, and like how SM did to Seunghwan. Not to mention SM blacklisting CBX too. Like, I have a video about that situation too. Like, if you're wondering, I'll have that here. Anyway, so some tweets to go over. I'm going to read the official statements because I think most of these are the statements. But I think, like, my thing is, like, what were they thinking? You know, SM, I mean, like, what were they thinking? Clearly not enough because, like, I'm aware that they're stupid, but I didn't think that they were that stupid because this is EXO we're talking about. These are some of the people that shaped the K-pop industry. You know, like, you gotta, like, they are the K-pop industry. Like, you know? What the fuck? Anyway. So, an article from mentertainmentnaver.com. I'm gonna put it in the description too. We sincerely apologize to fans for the confusion and concern caused by the delay in announcing our stance regarding CBX's participation in EXO's full group activities. INB 100 and our artists Chen, Baekhyun, and Xiumin, hereafter referred to as CBX, promised fans that they would take part in EXO's full group activities as members of EXO, and we have been making every effort to fulfill that promise. We would like to share the details of what has transpired so far. 1. July 9th, 2025, confirmation of initial agreement intention with SM Entertainment. We directly met with SM to confirm both sides' willingness and direction toward an agreement for EXO's full group activities. 2. September 10th, 2025. Mutual sharing of specific agreement terms. Both parties exchanged concrete agreement proposals and entered into substantive discussions. Number 3. Full acceptance of SM's demands. After the second mediation session on October 2nd, CBX accepted all of SM's conditions and clearly conveyed their intention to agree in order to realize EXO's group comeback by the end of the year. Number 4. Schedule adjustments. Prioritizing EXO activities, the members cleared all their personal schedules in December to focus on the group's activities and are awaiting SM's final response through their legal representatives. While making such efforts toward EXO's full group activities, we received notice regarding the fan meeting and full album announcement that excluded CBX. We apologize for the delay in our response as we are confirming SM's position regarding the progress of the agreement amid these unexpected circumstances. CBX members deeply value the sincerity of fans who have supported them for such a long time. And because they have strongly desired EXO's group activities, they chose the path of pursuing an agreement. Accordingly, we plan to finalize the agreement for EXO's full group activity as soon as possible. We are deeply grateful to all the fans who continue to believe in and wait for us, and we will do our best to achieve a positive result. We kindly ask for your continued trust and support. Sincerely, INB 100. Now, I have said a lot about 100 like that company in this video. But one thing that I can applaud them for is how they defend EXO, like the EXO members. Because before, when SM was like, we're blacklisting them, they're not allowed to, we're blacklisting them, or whatever, like the fuck that they were saying. They're like, okay, then we're boycotting all the music shows that you have your ways with. And so that is why also when the boys had their comeback, they only performed at like one music show because they were boycotting the other ones. But anyway, I like that they stand on business, and I like that during the time when the boys were getting like random hate for not being active, they took down funeral wreaths that were outside. I thought that was funny, but again, 100 is also the reason why Hangyeon is no longer in the boys, and also part of the reason for the boys' ongoing stress. So let's continue. We have made it clear to the three members' side that the settlement of the dispute and group activities are separate matters. Regarding the dispute settlement, we have prevailed in all the disputes so far, and the only thing we demanded from the members' side was the payment of 10% of their individual activity revenue as stipulated in the existing agreement dated June 18th, 2023. However, this has not yet been fulfilled. The issue in participating in group activities required sincere efforts from the three members' side to fulfill the existing agreement and rebuild trust, as the excessive number of disputes significantly damaged the trust between both parties, and the harm caused to the team EXO and the pain inflicted to the fans and the members were considerable. SM, when have you ever cared about the members of the groups that you have and the fans of those groups? When have you given a fuck about them? All of a sudden, this is for the fans and this is for the members. Meanwhile, I genuinely, like, these are people they've trained with and been in a group with for like however long, longer than I've been alive, probably. And you're trying to tell me that, like, oh my god, fuck you and your mom. And I'm gonna say that again. Anyway, however, contrary to the members' statement today that they have accepted all conditions proposed by us after the second mediation session on October 2nd and clearly conveyed their intent to settle, they filed an objection first on the 16th. I'm blind, sorry. We cannot help but express deep regret over the three members' announcements today, which distorts these facts. We will do our best to support and exert efforts for EXO's activities, which are set to begin in December. So therefore, fuck you, SM Entertainment, and I mean that like from the bottom of my heart, because this is not like, I'm saying this as somebody who does not like fully stan EXO. Like, I like their music and I do like the group, but I've like you know, they're iconic. They're iconic. Like, it's, you're lying to yourself if you say that you never shaken your ass to Monster before. You're lying, because I do every day. Somebody said the problem is they didn't want to pay the fee, but CBX were like, yeah, we did. We said yes. We said yes to your agreement. What the fuck are you talking about? We said yes, we'll do it, so let us do it, bitch. But then SM's like, no, but emotionally you said no. You did not agree. What are you? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Oh my god. SM continues to piss me off. Like, I kid you not. Cause then they'll preach, oh, this is for the fans and this is for like the members of the group. But when a member is speaking out against it, right? Let's take the riot situation, for example, when Seunghwan got added back to the group and Wonbin made that post. Why'd they take it down so quickly? My thing is, like, they've never cared about what the fucking members wanted, okay? Because if they did, this wouldn't have happened like this. And SM will continue being a greedy fucking whore. There, I said it, because you know why? Because all they care about is money. But if they were smart, they would say, oh, if we were to keep CBX and XO because they're XO, that alone is gonna get you bank, you know? You're gonna get money from that either way. It's XO we're talking about here. Dude, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. And like, I just, like, my heart goes out to the group. My heart goes out to the fans of the group. This can't be easy. This is not the first time they've gotten members like removed all of a sudden. This is not, unfortunately, probably not going to be the last, because SM will continue their ongoing physical and like mental abuse to their idols, allegedly. But like, it's very obvious, you know. I don't know when they're gonna be like, oh, sorry, it was us. Like, sorry, like, our bad. Because no, because over here they're like, no, you see, it's because CBX didn't want, they didn't want to pay the fee. But then CBX is over here like, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We agreed to it. What the fuck are you on? You're the one that's denying it. Oh my god, it's like, like, oh my god. Pissing me the fuck off. Anyway, that is all for this portion. I'm gonna go and like scream into a pillow and maybe, yeah, my see y'all. But also, like, also with Rise, I do want to mention that like, even with Seungchan's situation, nothing was said, nothing. This, like, I'm telling you now, like, if that was me, if I was in charge of Rise and I saw someone who seems to be invading my artist's privacy, bitch, throw their ass in the slammer. Because that's stalking. That's illegal. That's not safe for the members. But unfortunately, like, just in K-pop as a whole, this is unfortunately a very common issue. We've seen this happen time and time again. I mean, recently I'm pretty sure Subin threw a phone at someone, threw a shoe at someone. It was something like that. It was something like that. And he was like, actually, no, that wasn't a real fan, because real fans wouldn't do that. And another example is Jay from Unhypen recently, when he went on live and someone was trying to call them and was like, hey, by the way, next time you call me, I'm going to answer the phone and I'm going to put it on speaker and I'm going to expose you to everybody that I'm talking to, because I'm trying to talk to my fans. You're pissing me off. Which, honestly, badass move. Badass move. Now let's talk about IST Entertainment. I made a video a while back speaking about and trying to raise awareness about their only group left, ATBO, and the shit that they have been dealing with since their debut back in 2022. I wanted to touch more on that, since there has been some updates that have left me completely pissed off, as well as other fans of ATBO can agree that this is very fucking annoying and very, like, what the fuck is your problem? Anyway, so, as everyone may know, on BOYZ II Planet, IST sent over some trainees of theirs, and they performed well, but the final lineup for the group, Aldi, IST has brought up plans to debut a new boy group by next year, including these trainees that were on BOYZ Planet. Which, honestly, good for them. But IST has a group that's been debuted since 2022 and have been inactive since 2023. That's insane. What are you, SM? ATBO have done nothing but survival shows that only did them more bad than good, in both mentally and in terms of group activities physically. For example, here are some conditions that the group had to go through. Now I'm going to be reading a tweet from ATBO. She said, FYI, these were the conditions of the ATBO members the last time they were active, which was for Road to Kingdom plus the crew one. When they were practicing from 4 p.m. until dawn. IST has been pushing them to their limits, but they didn't even get the decency of resuming activities or ending their contracts. See, the thing is with boats, currently they are literally just like either disband them or give them a damn comeback. Junseok lost so much weight to the point where he barely had muscle strength and he was getting IV shots to not collapse. There's videos of him struggling to catch his breath, plus he had a breakdown over his skills, plus has said he probably doesn't know if he will do a survival show again. Junmin still hadn't recovered from back pain. He was wearing a waist belt during practice, and there's videos of him from Road to Kingdom where you can see him in pain holding his back after finishing the stage. Hyunjun was having nightmares where he woke up late and missed practice. Probably why we haven't heard from him since January. Where the fuck is he? Anyway, Seunghwan lost confidence so much that he thought if he should continue being an idol during practice for the elimination battle. He had intense muscle pain in one of his legs. He also still went to university for classes. Yongkyu hurt his neck badly during the very first practice as a group for the introduction stage on Road to Kingdom and started worrying about possibility of becoming a burden for the members. Binny showed signs of discomfort as well, opening up about how much he dislikes competition. And like the list goes on. Like this is only some. I have mentioned in the ATBO video I did like a few months ago where Youngkyu was like he had a full like breakdown, like a meltdown because he thought that I think he missed a step while performing or like tripped, and then he literally was like panicking the whole time because he was like, I fucked up the performance for everybody. We failed because of me. Be so for real. Anyway, so now Jung Seunghwan, my Pookie Bear, my blueberry man.
Blueberry smoothie. Blueberry smoothie. Can I have one blueberry smoothie? Can I have one blueberry smoothie?
Blueberry boy recently announced that he'd be enlisting into the military. See, this would have been normal if he'd been active in his group and they were a bit older or whatever. But Seunghwan was born in 2004. He's 21. Enlisting at 21 is actually insane, especially when you realize that this is probably because these boys have nothing else to do, that they'd rather enlist than stare at a wall and collect dust. And waiting for a chance to actually do their fucking jobs. I've mentioned before and I'll mention again, but ATBO is a very talented group that are fully capable of becoming something huge because they were right there. Only for all of that to go down the drain. Boats, ATBO's fandom, have been demanding answers from IST and have been pleading that they'd actually do something with them. Rebrand, modeling, acting, or even just letting them go because and having them be ATBO somewhere else. Somewhere that'll actually give them opportunities to thrive as a popular boy group and that we all know is possible for them given the proper exposure and maybe a comeback. IST is stupid. I rest my case. And like I have mentioned IST like before, like they have been an op of mine since before I even started like posting videos like this on here. But I feel like this is something that is like unheard of, and also because I don't understand what what is up with IST, because the smart thing would be, right? Because when the boys left IST, if I was IST, and I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again, if I was IST and my biggest group had just left, I would take a look at the group I have left because weekly disbanded. Huh, ATBO. ATBO, right. The group that we debuted. That's our group. That's our group. That's our idol. But you know what though? Like, give them something to do. Have we seen Junmin? I know I talk about him all the time, but we need to talk about that. We need to talk about him more. Like, leave a like if you think I should open my own K-pop company, name it Frog Hops Entertainment, and debut my own group that includes Hangyeon, and we wait for the other members of the boys to come, and we and that's all I got so far. There have been many versions of stories like this where K-pop companies will do things that are very distasteful and like unethical too. Like, and like the list goes on. There's more companies out there that are horrible. But these are a few that have been pissing me off lately, and also just in general, because like SM, we talk about them often on here because they're always doing some fuck ass shit. As somebody who is a very big NCT fan too, like, I'm aware of their game. I'm aware of their game. I don't like it. I don't like it. IST, I'm aware of how horrible they are, but the shit that they are doing to ATBO currently is like unheard of. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we need to get them out of there like right now. But yeah, that's all for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, or you have anything else we should talk about on here, let me know in the comments, and comment a frog emoji if you're watching this far, for Frog Hops Entertainment, by the way. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.